3 decades ago, American scholar Francis Fukuyama predicted that Western liberal democracy will be the final form of human government. A lot can happen in 30 years. After the U.S. Capitol riot on January 18, 2021, Fukuyama wrote an article for Foreign Affairs titled "Rotten to the Core," in which he criticized the U.S. system, saying the rigidity of the U.S. system of government has become more and more obvious and problematic, though he insists the U.S. system also has its virtues. One institutional challenge he raised was the Electoral College system, and I'd have to agree with that. If one looks around the world, among the approximately 100 democracies as defined by Freedom House, the majority of these countries have their leaders elected directly by voters. According to Pew Research, there are only 5 other countries, mostly Pacific Island nations and African states, that indirectly elect a leader who combines the roles of head of state and head of government as the U.S. president does. One issue with the Electoral College system is that it uses a winner-take-all approach instead of proportional representation. That means if your political views are those of a minority in a given region, chances are your vote probably won't matter. And under this system, more populous states such as California have the same number of Senate seats, of 2, as smaller states such as Montana. This can lead to serious underrepresentation for states with larger populations. Now, looking at votes, an informed and well-educated citizenry is believed by many to be a prerequisite of a well-functioning democracy. And what has been the #1 source of television news in America? Fox News it is. Until 2020, Fox News has been the most watched cable news network in the country for the 18th consecutive year. And watch how the network covered the Trump presidency.
You're also one of the most loved and respected.
I would say that also.
In history.
It's going to be 4 years of nauseating, gauzy coverage. The watchdogs, well, they're just lapdogs. Are you having fun in this job?
I am.
Is it?
I love it.
Look at the economy.
Take a look.
Are you getting the credit for this economic revival?
The media, pretty vicious, not just to you, but to your family. How do you process that?
Right over there is your hotel.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful?
It's a beautiful hotel.
But on a more serious note, these days the line between information and entertainment, news and opinion is blurring. Media on the right and left are competing for viewership, and it is a lot easier to do so by telling their base, their most loyal viewers, what they want to hear than challenging their stereotypes. And instead of bridging the gap of understanding, the rise of social media only seemed to have reinforced these stereotypes and divisions. Even Fukuyama's piece acknowledges that the digital era has led to, quote, the disappearance of a common factual base for democratic deliberation, and what were once policy differences between blue and red factions have hardened into divisions over cultural identity.